When I first stepped into Japan, I expected the future, but I found the past quietly breathing beneath it. How did Japan rise from the blinding flash of atomic fire to become one of the world's most peaceful, disciplined, and admired societies, where shrines and skyscrapers share the same skyline? Passports to the Past presents how Japan rose from atomic ashes to inspire the world. At Passports to the Past, we explore the crossroads of history, culture, and human resilience, giving travelers and students alike the stories that make every destination more meaningful. Our mission is simple: understand before you go, so travel becomes more than sightseeing, it becomes understanding. Japan stretches like a graceful arc across the Pacific, made up of 4 main islands: Honshu, Hokkaido, Kyushu, and Shikoku, and thousands of smaller ones. Its capital, Tokyo, houses nearly 14 million people, while the entire nation counts around 125 million citizens. It's a constitutional monarchy with an elected parliament and one of the most stable governments on earth. Crime is low, education high, and civic pride nearly universal. Travel advisories rate Japan among the safest places to visit, though earthquakes and typhoons remain natural reminders of the island's restless geology. Urban life dazzles in neon precision, while rural Japan whispers with ancient rhythms, rice terraces, bamboo forests, and quiet fishing villages that seem untouched by time. Before skyscrapers and samurai, Japan was a wilderness shaped by volcanoes and seas. The Jomon people, arriving over 14,000 years ago, left pottery and legends. The Yayoi brought rice farming and social structure. By the 3rd century, clans united under the Yamato, giving rise to the world's oldest continuing monarchy. Japan's earliest stories blend myth and memory. Sun goddess Amaterasu, heroic emperors, and spirits dwelling in trees and stones. These beliefs evolved into Shinto, a faith of reverence for nature that still infuses modern life. Through centuries of warlords and empires, Japan defined itself by discipline. Samurai lived and died by Bushido, the way of the warrior, which prized honor over life itself. Even today, that philosophy lingers. In the punctuality of trains, the precision of craft, and the quiet pride of service. Before the first emperors united the islands, communities thrived along rivers and coasts, living from the sea and volcano-fed soil. From these beginnings grew a worldview that the land itself was sacred. The mountains of central Honshu were believed to be the stairway between gods and men. Every harvest was both survival and ceremony. By the Nara and Heian periods, Japan blossomed into a literary and artistic powerhouse. Courtiers composed delicate poetry in the imperial capital, while monks in mountain temples copied sutras by lamplight. The first novel ever written, The Tale of Genji, appeared here 1,000 years ago, proof that introspection has always been a Japanese art form. Japan's culture is a symphony of subtlety. Language, Japanese, written with kanji borrowed from Chinese and the phonetic kana scripts. Religion, a blend of Shinto and Buddhism, where one prays to ancestors for wisdom and to spirits for guidance. Art, from ink calligraphy to anime, from haiku to high fashion. Every form balances discipline with beauty. Festivals such as Obon, honoring ancestors, or Golden Week, celebrating national milestones, connect the modern citizen to ancient custom. Daily etiquette defines social harmony. Bowing instead of shaking hands, removing shoes before entering homes, avoiding loud talk in public. To Westerners, it feels formal. To the Japanese, it's freedom from chaos. From the ruins of war rose an industrial marvel. Japan's economic miracle between 1950 and 1980 transformed it into a powerhouse of innovation. Today, Japan leads the world in automotive design, robotics, electronics, and green energy. Toyota, Sony, and Panasonic became household names, but so did sushi, manga, and karaoke, exports of joy as much as technology. Internationally, Japan stands as a G7 democracy, a humanitarian donor, and a cultural bridge between East and West. Its soft power, art, cuisine, design, has shaped global taste more gently but just as profoundly as its inventions. During the Cold War, Japan reinvented capitalism with conscience. Land reforms broke up feudal holdings, education became universal, and companies promised lifetime employment, a pact between labor and leadership that turned factories into families. By the 1980s, Japanese electronics filled Western homes, and its cars redefined reliability. Manga and video games carried its imagination to every continent, while pop culture icons, from Godzilla to Studio Ghibli, mirrored national hopes and anxieties. Though economic bubbles burst in the 1990s, Japan adapted again, trading reckless growth for sustainable innovation and urban livability. Japan dazzles with efficiency, while rural Japan preserves serenity. The bullet train connects both worlds at 200 miles per hour. Japan earns a $$ mid to high rating. Budget travelers can live well on $70 to $100 per day, enjoying hostels and street ramen. Mid-range travelers spend $150 to $250, staying in boutique hotels and savoring sushi bars. Luxury seekers easily exceed $400 daily, drawn to ryokans with mountain views and kaiseki dinners. Where to save? Local trains, convenience store meals, and free temples. Where you'll spend? Tokyo lodging, high-speed rail, and fine dining worth every yen. Japan's courtesy extends to travelers, but understanding a few unwritten rules ensures smoother journeys. Shoes off indoors, always. No tipping. Respect is the reward. Silence on trains, conversation kept soft. Trash disposal, carry it with you. Bins are rare. Scams are minimal, though travelers should prepare for earthquake drills and seasonal typhoons. Crime is rare, but laws are strict, especially on substances and public behavior. August 1945 remains etched in global memory. The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki obliterated two cities and claimed hundreds of thousands of lives. Yet within a decade, Hiroshima was planting trees and building schools. Japan's secret was not denial, but Gaman, enduring the impossible with silent strength. The philosophy of Kintsugi, mending with gold, reflected the national spirit. The breaks became symbols of endurance. By 1964, Tokyo hosted the Olympics, showing the world a nation reborn through diligence and dignity. Art became therapy for a wounded nation. Painters, potters, and poets turned tragedy into texture. The peace cranes of Hiroshima multiplied from one child's wish into an international symbol of hope. Schools taught peace studies. Universities taught design thinking. Both aimed to build a society allergic to arrogance. By the late 1950s, Japanese filmmakers like Kurosawa carried stories of duty and compassion to global screens. Culture was no longer only Japanese, it was universal humanity told with Japanese restraint. In Kyoto, incense curls through temple corridors that have stood for a millennium. In Tokyo, neon lights ripple across glass towers that touch the sky. Here, progress doesn't erase history, it collaborates with it. A tea master adjusts his kimono beside a vending machine glowing with digital tea bottles. An engineer codes humility into a humanoid robot. This is Japan's genius, progress with reverence. This is passports to the past, travel smarter. We know where the bathrooms are.